Say what? Suretrader's closing? I mean, who's really surprised? What is up, guys? This is Cruz from New Age Wall Street, and today we're going to be talking about Suretrader closing their doors, and kind of crazy because I mean they're kind of like my gateway into the trading game, which is absolutely nuts. So uh, you know, absolutely crazy. After some of the experiences that I've actually had with them, so. I wanted to just share some of my experiences and go over it and just my thoughts and things like that. Um, so to get right into it, I started trading with Suretrader, my very first account, um, because a certain warrior type trader recommended it, and they did some type of trading challenge, and that was how I built my first account, was on Suretrader. And I had at that time, when I funded that first account, I actually funded it via wire, and they use an intermediary bank, and it was kind of a nightmare to actually fund the account. The money got lost for a little bit. I had to go and bribe the banker, and to try to get my money back. It was an absolute nightmare, and I wound up getting the money back and funding it a different way, but I was able to fund it, and I was able to, build that account and then also move over to another broker after I made enough money to get out of Dodge. So that was the first time that I dealt with them, and there was customer service issues where with like fees, and there was a time where I was in a short position after like 2 p.m. and they liquidated my position, and because I didn't realize, and that's absolutely my fault. They clear as day do you notify you that your account will be liquidated, or um, you may be charged additional fees if you are in a position after a certain time of day. So that's absolutely my fault, but it's absolutely nuts. This is pretty big for the small time traders in the industry, because it lets you get around the PDT rule, right? So the rule that allows you not to trade more than 3 times in a 5-day period, and it says a lot. So it says a lot, and there's a lot of changes being made in the trading industry right now, such as TD Ameritrade, Charles Schwab, and and company, making making changes to where they are charging zero commissions, and now we have Suretrader that's closing their doors. So absolutely crazy. I mean, I've had my bats with Guy Gentile as well on Twitter. I'm actually blocked by him because like what I had to say a couple times, and um, it happens. I mean, um, so as part of this, I when they had suspended trading, right? So what has it been, like a month or so ago now, when they suspended trading for that? What was it, like a week or 5 days or something like that? I was absolutely upset, because you guys, I was building my account, and I was almost there, and I was afraid that I would lose my money, and that I wouldn't have the ability to make keep my money that was in their brokerage, and um, I feel like I dodged a bullet. Like, I was really upset at the time, and going through everything that I've been going through, I've always struggled with religion, guys. I've always been, a bad kid, or had a problem with authority, and things like that. Just stubborn, and want to do things my own way and things. And this time, I just kind of surrendered myself and gave my faith to God, and put my full on faith to God, and prayed that to guide me in a way that would be beneficial to me and my members in my room, and for me to help people that are less fortunate. And it's kind of funny that um, I was upset at that time, and it was probably because someone was all looking over my shoulder, telling me that something bigger was coming, and to just get out and move on. And that's what happened. I was able to move out of Suretrader. I was able to get my money. I was able to get into another account, and shortly after, I've made it over PDT again. And then within 4 days, I almost made my account. I doubled my account. I mean, like 19,000 in 4 days. Um, which is absolutely ludicrous. So it's funny that you look back and God always has a plan for you, and you may be upset at the time, but there may be bigger things waiting for you. So I look back now and I think I dodged a bullet by that little suspension, and I was able to get my money out right away once they reinstated trading, and now they're closing their doors. And I hope the best for everyone to. And I got an email. I got some notifications because obviously I still have like the logins and stuff for the account and everything. And I got a notification that basically what's going to happen is the account is going to migrate to some other type of account. And I've never even heard of this broker. I don't know if anyone else has, but it sounds shady as hell. And I mean, best wishes. There's been a bunch of people that DM me and ask me, what's going to happen, and what should they expect and things like that. And I wish the best for everyone. I hope you get your money. I mean, if you do have any questions or how to go about things, I'm here for your support. I don't know everything, but I'm here for your support to based off of what I've been through. So um, yeah, I think I really dodged a bullet with that, and I accomplished my goal. I accomplished my goal using Suretrader, and yeah. Now, what does this mean for the trading industry and the trading community in general? Uh, it brings a lot, right? So that if I'm thinking about it, this um, this means that there's probably going to be a lot less small time traders in these small caps and things providing liquidity. So if they're not able to trade because of the PDT rule and things like that, it's who's to say the volume and the liquidity on these small caps is not going to go down now. So granted, they're going to be moved to that other broker, and I think that's another thing is that there's always going to be that small time type of broker that is willing to do those shading things for customers, for the small customers that need to get around PDT, and for the newbies they take it that get taken advantage of it, what have you. But I'm glad I don't trade small caps really at all anymore, because who's to say now what that does for the liquidity and how big it will impact it, right? Um, so that brings me to my next point is that a lot of my members are transitioning, or I have transitioned to trading options. So a lot of them are trading options. And I mean, I wish everyone that was in Suretrader or more newbies would trade options intraday the way that we do, because it would provide more liquidity into the actual strikes and contracts, and it would make it easier to get in and out, and it would mean better spreads and things like that. And that would be awesome. So that would help with my strategy, and yeah, everyone would be more profitable in that sense. I do believe so. If you guys are looking at making money and you guys are still trying to get around PDT, hit me up. We'll look at what we could do to get you trading some options, and getting some liquidity and getting around PDT, and also saving some money. So it's super cheap. It's super cheap right now. I mean, you could open an account with TD. They're charging 65 cents a contract right now to trade options. There's other brokers that are charging nothing. Um, and there's also, I mean, I pay like a dollar contract, which isn't that, even that's not bad. I mean, instead of all the stress of having to look for borrows um, and all that when you're shorting small caps and the stress about it, it's dumb. But yeah, so if you want to trade some options, just hit me up and we'll get you going. And yeah, the other thing is that you know does this bring in from is this something or a byproduct of Robinhood? Robinhood hitting the industry. Robinhood didn't have a lot of doesn't have Robinhood does not have commissions. So did Robinhood impact Suretrader in that big of a way that a lot of Suretrader customers were just trading Robinhood? Especially the real new kids that were things like that. I mean that says a lot. That leaves a lot to be said. So Um, uh, I mean, it's just speculation. So, but that may be part of it. What I do want to do is like share some of my experience with the customer service. With I had said in the past that I had problems with the customer service and I wasn't going to out them, but now they can't really do anything to me about it or whatever. So to start closing, rah, and so now so I'm going to share some of the customer service things. And to give a little context as to what happened, I was locked out of being able to trade options for whatever reason. Options would not execute, getting in or out. So I was stuck in a position at one point, and they actually helped me out, and they gave me my highest executed, the highest price that I tried to execute my trade to get out of. So I actually made out on that first time, and then the second time it happened. Second, third time, within a week, I called them, and the guy hung up on me, and it was just it was just funny. And I'll show the email right here. And yeah, and so here's a little bit of that phone call. And so you have someone over your shoulder that's talking to you, or probably listening on a Y jack, the same thing.
In regards to liquidating your account, sir, you're meaning just closing your positions, or?
No, I want to close the whole account.
Well, yeah. So once your trade settled tonight, you would simply just need to submit a withdrawal for your funds and make sure that you remove any platform subscriptions that you have. Once that's done, your account will be considered closed.
What isn't there a fee you guys charge to liquidate the account?
Well, to withdraw your funds, there is a fee attached. So if you're using credit card, it would be a 3.5% fee. And then if you're using Wire, it would be a $40 fee. But yeah, other than that, you would have to send the email. There's no way around it, Alex.
So if you send the money back to a card, it's 3% of whatever's in there.
3.5%, yes, sir.
After it's the trade settle.
That's correct.
Okay, so you're still going to charge me a fee because I have to switch brokers because your platform doesn't work.
This is an intermediary fee, sir. We're not in control of these fees. These fees are simply pass-through fees.
No, but holistically, the reason why I want to leave is because your platform doesn't work.
I understand that, sir, but at the same time, we won't eat those fees for you. Those are fees not applied by us. We're simply the intermediary on those fees. Listen, so I understand you're doing your job, right? You get up in the morning, you take a shower, whatever, you go to work. You're just there doing your job. You're working, right? I understand, needing to, earn a paycheck for your family, friends, or whatever you do, whatever you like doing to enjoy life. So I understand that. But the thing is that on my end, it's impeding me to be able to go ahead and do what I do. So I understand you're, someone sitting over your shoulder and just listening to you, probably to you and I. And no one's sitting over my shoulder and listening to me, sir.
Well, for whatever reason, you keep muting me and then not answering me when I answer questions or ask questions. So my whole thing is that if we didn't have this, and you as a person, sir, I think you're awesome. I understand you're there just to go ahead and work. You've helped me out in the past. I've said that, publicly. I've given you praise for it, and I hope you were recognized for it, in more than one way. And so it's nothing personal or nothing about you guys as a company, but I can't go on in my business when the platform doesn't work.
Right, I understand that. And the options issue, it has been ongoing, and unfortunately it is something that we're still dealing with. So, I tell clients, I do understand that they have to make the decision to move on. I do understand that, and, it's not a grudge or anything like that. We do understand the clients have to do what's best for them. And while our issues are ongoing, if it's not something that they can deal with, I do understand that. There are situations in our lives that we encounter that, we simply can't deal with, so we have to walk away from them.
Okay, but you're making it to where it's, even for me to go out and sever ties is going to hurt me.
Right, but like I'm saying, Alex, these fees are standard either way. So if you were just doing a withdrawal for any purpose, they would still be applied. We're we're not necessarily able to waive those fees.
Exactly.
Either way, those fees aren't incurred.
Exactly. So, but that would be a choice, right? So that would be a choice willingly to go ahead and be done, not because that you're providing bad service or because the platform doesn't go ahead and work. It'd be a choice that you just there was someone competitively better, and that's not the reason I'm moving because of that. I'm moving because your stuff simply does not work, and you say you've agreed with that.
Right, it is an ongoing issue. It is an ongoing issue. There would be nothing that I would be able to do about the fees, so
okay,
there's nothing that we can do, like no way around those or anything like that. Alex, there's no way around that. You'll have to send an email, and there's nothing else that I can do in regards to that.
Okay. Well, maybe
I'll have to end the call at this point.
Well, maybe Tony.
I wish you the best.
Maybe Tony will go ahead
I
and.
hope you have a great day.
Maybe Tony will go ahead and
Tony's not management, sir.
Okay,
Like I said,
well.
I do wish you the best, Alex.
So
Expect your email. Anticipated.
so you're gonna go ahead and hang up on me on the camera.
I won't be able to assist you further, sir.
Oh, and I agreed with you.
Oh, yes. So we await your email, sir.
Okay. I do hope you have a job after this.
All the best. Have a great.
Why are you going to hang up, sir? I didn't say bye.
Is there something I can assist you with?
So right now I'm not able to go ahead and enter or exit any type of options trade. So I was told by your customer service as well as Kyle that there is options issues going on, and I spoke to you also as well last week when the same thing happened. Now here's the thing. So I am down on the day. So I did go ahead and have a winning trade just a little while ago, and then I made some back. I had to step out for an errand, and now I'm sitting here watching BYND hit my triggers, and I can't trade it. So I'm not able to go ahead and make any of my losses back on the day here because you guys are not allowing me to. So what I went ahead and asked, I sent an email. I did go ahead and ask that so I be made flat on the day. So you're not losing anything. I'm not losing anything. If not, then I just want to go ahead and liquidate my account because these have been issues that have been going on for over a week.
Gotcha. Alright. And just confirm the account number for me, sir.
M as in Mary.
Just 1 minute for me, sir.
So that was a little bit of audio from my talking to them and trying to get the issue resolved. I got hung up on. The other guy just acted like he didn't. They openly admitted that there was issues with DAS, through Suretrader, and they wouldn't help me. They wouldn't make me flat on the day, that may be a lot to ask for. I don't know if it was right for me to ask for that, but I feel that I should have been able to make my loss back, right? If I was down on the day and they didn't allow me to make my loss back, then I mean, it's not my fault. You know what I mean? And at that time, mind you, when this happened, my account was still pretty small. So, any little bit that I could save, I was trying to, find that I could save money. But yeah, really crazy that Suretraders closing their doors. I just want to give you a few of my thoughts. It's just crazy how much the actual trading industry and the trading community has changed, even in the little bit of time that I've been trading. So I've been trading 5 years, taking it seriously for about 3. Things have changed a lot in just that time. So things have came and gone, and in just that time, I can imagine like some of these old OG traders that back from the 80s and 90s where they still had ticker tapes and they still had your fractions. They didn't even have decimal points like we do. So I could only imagine. So, but really exciting for the industry. What is to come next and how it is going to evolve. Super blessed, super grateful that I dodged the bullet personally. At what happened with my personal account, I was able to get out, and I hope everyone is able to liquidate their account that they need to as well coming up. So, yeah. That's it, guys. Take it easy. If you have to pick a bias, make sure you're money biased, guys. Later.
My